The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour.
ChatGPT did become the world's most downloaded non-gaming app.
Literally the job of everyone in government to address the media and the public.
What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on Zandy Silva as the deputy PLP leader?
A community that can't feed itself is a community that...
What you may not know, though, is that Bermuda, we have a connection with Epstein, too.
Things that people are doing right, the youth are doing right, that is not being advertised enough.
When you see your access to U.S. dollars disappear, that's when you have a problem.
You've got a town in the UK with a similar sized population. This place absolutely outshines it.
It's Thursday, the second day of July. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical House Lindos, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamel Hartman. How's everyone feeling today? Yep, it is the second day of July, one day closer to St. George's Victory Parade. That's how I'm starting today. You know what it is, folks. You know what it is. Oh, let me fix my collar. I had to wear this. I had to find some blue this morning. I'll tell you in a second. I had to find some blue, but hopefully you all are feeling good. It is Friday, Junior, to many of you. It is some people's Friday, but greetings to you all, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. What to expect at Cot Match 2026? Well, Somerset Cricket Club President Richard Scott stops by to discuss that, among many other things. Yes, he is in the house today. Looking forward, always a good conversation with Richard, despite his choices in life. The Daily Play is Cot Match Trivia today, straight from Bermuda Trivia Cot Match Edition. If you don't have it, make sure you get it. It is fun, it is educational, it is helpful. And also, don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, let's get to it. James Burgess says, good morning to the Daily Hour team show. Welcome to your guest, Mr. Simmons. No, it's no Mr. Simmons today. It's President Richard Scott. Mr. Scott, yes, you got it, James. Mr. Scott, Richard Scott. That is our guest today. Well, folks, we got to jump right into it. Here's the question of the morning. What are your thoughts on anonymous post online? Yeah. What are your thoughts on anonymous post online? So, first it was the comments section on news websites, right? Now it's social media groups. More and more people we're seeing share strong opinions, making accusations, and criticizing other people while hiding behind anonymous profiles and pseudonyms, right? Now, to be fair, anonymity isn't always a bad thing. There are people who have legitimate reasons for protecting their identity. Some may want to expose wrongdoing in the workplace, but fear losing their job, right? Someone may have information about criminal activity, but worry about retaliation. And others may simply want to speak openly without becoming the story themselves. Now, whistleblowers have played an important role in exposing corruption and protecting the public for years. But there is another side to this, right? Anonymity also gives people the confidence to say things they might never say if their real names were attached to it. We've all seen anonymous accounts spread rumors, attack people's character, make serious allegations without evidence, and sometimes cause real harm to individuals and families and businesses. The internet has made it incredibly easy to damage someone's reputation with just a few keystrokes. That's why I think this conversation is important. It's about accountability, right? How do we protect people who genuinely need anonymity while also protecting innocent people from defamatory or false or harmful statements made by those hiding behind fake names. That's not an easy balance to strike. Too much regulation could discourage legitimate whistleblowers from coming forward, and too little regulation could allow abuse and misinformation to go unchecked. The reality is that many countries are now wrestling with this exact issue. As more of our conversations move online, governments are increasingly being asked where freedom of speech ends and accountability begins. Maybe the answer isn't eliminating anonymity altogether. Maybe it's creating a system where anonymous speech is protected in the public interest, but anonymity can't be used as a shield to intentionally harm others without consequence. You see the question, folks. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on anonymous post online? We'll take a break, give it some thought, and we'll come back and we'll give you the poll question of the day as well. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
All right, folks, you see the question. What are your thoughts on people who are posting things online from anonymous accounts? And I think with Facebook, it's become worse, because if you look at the comments now, as people putting up these names and they're so strong with their opinions. And I understand. I remember the late Laverne Ferbert. She used to say that people do it because back in the day, if you spoke out politically, they would come for your mortgage, stuff like that. I know that people would say that previously. I know certain people in certain jobs may have a lot of information and they want to speak up. And if they do, they're risking their livelihood. But I don't think that's the concern necessarily. I think the concern is attacking people. There was a post last night, the second time this post has come up, and it was on the All Things Politics or All Things Bermuda page. And it was basically attacking the credibility of Curtis Dickinson. And I didn't like that. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. And even if I may have said something similar on this show, Mr. Dickinson can reach out to me and say, hey, Jamal, look, let's have a chat. I don't like it one bit. It's unfair. And audience, I don't know how you feel. I don't know how you feel. But I'm going to put the poll question up. Let me put a poll question up, because I've said on this show before, I don't really like government getting in, over-regulating. I don't. But to protect people, I think we may need the government to regulate this. So your poll question is, should government regulate online anonymity? Do you? Yes, 1 for yes, 2 for no. But also the question of the morning, what are your thoughts on anonymous posts online? Ms. Ellen Kate Horton says, personally, I dislike anonymous posts. I don't answer them and rarely read them. I am actually with Ms. Horton. I'm with Ms. Horton. If someone writes me, like if you, I remember back in the day, like I'd say something on the show and they'd come from a Twitter account. If you didn't have your real name, I would not respond to you. I wouldn't respond to you. I just found it. There's something that really I find really bothersome. And look, let me be very clear. I know everyone's not going to be big mouth like myself and share their perspective on a mic or publicly. I know everyone's not going to do that. And people won't do it because they have to protect themselves. Right? I get that. I'm not asking everyone to risk their livelihood. But some of this stuff, where it comes across like you're defaming people's character, I don't like it. None of us should like it. There's a difference between speaking out about something that you know is wrong and that can protect people, like whistleblowing. That's very different, as I mentioned. Very different. When it's whistleblowing, right? Let me go through it like this. Here are some things that anonymity can protect. It can protect whistleblowers, victims, employees exposing wrongdoing, witnesses that fear retaliation. I'm all for that. And I think you all are right-thinking people. You're all for that. But this is what concerns me about it. Defamation, false accusations, cyberbullying, harassment, misinformation. Where do we draw that line? Where do we as a community draw that line with anonymity? Where do we do it? What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on anonymous posts online? Does it bother you? Do you care? Do you like to have the freedom to post without putting your full name? Do you love to? I'll give you an example. I was working in the Bermuda Tourism Authority, and I'm sharing this publicly at this point. When I was working in the Bermuda Tourism Authority, I was accused of writing against the organization under pen names, pseudonyms, right? I've said it before and I'll say it again. No one in that organization scared me enough not to say what I felt on my Facebook page or to their face. It wasn't until years later when the former chairman of the BTA and I were having a chat on Facebook Messenger. And he told me the account that they thought it was me. So I went, looked it up. I said, that's definitely not me. Folks, I've written letters to the editor. I've shared my opinions on my own social media pages. It always used to bother me how people would tell me stuff and not say it themselves. And then I understood, Jamel, not everyone's built the same. If conscription taught me nothing else, is that we love for other people to fight our battles because we don't want to risk our livelihood, but we don't care if that person does. But everyone's not built the same. We're not. And I had to understand and respect that. Folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Again, the question of the morning. Yesterday, there was an anonymous post written about Curtis Dickinson, the former finance minister, on a Facebook page. And it bothered me. It bothered me because, one, it seemed like a fake page that was made, right? Two, say it with your chest. It wasn't something that, defamed his character, right? But it's something that, okay, well, why are you hiding your identity? And if this is the way that campaign's going to go, speaking of the opposing campaign, not saying that Jason Hayward's behind this or his campaign's behind it, but we can't operate like this. We can't. And I would hope that the other side, Curtis Dickinson's campaign's not doing it either. Because there's a profile on TikTok, for instance, right? Profile on TikTok with a very Bermudian name that keeps sharing information. And some of you think it's a real person, which shocks me. Let me give you an example. So on Twitter lately, or social media, there's been an account, Freddie, a German named Freddie, right? And the account has been touring the U.S. during the World Cup and speaking highly of the U.S. All these positive comments. Oh, if you want to hate America, watch the news. If you want to love it, travel and experience it. So now people are all saying, this is a fake account. People are saying this is the U.S. government that created this campaign long before the World Cup started and made this person up to try to show the U.S. in a different light. You get me, folks? We're in a crazy place right now. We really are. All right, let's go to you all. Again, what are your thoughts on anonymous posts online? And one or two, poll is, should government regulate online anonymity? Should government regulate it? Shawnette Sumner says, the identity of anonymous posters is visible to group moderators and admins. If someone makes personal attacks anonymously, I think they need to be identified it's cowardly to behave this way. No, but Shwanette, hold on now. Yes and no. What I mean by yes and no is if it's a fake page, right? Which this one didn't come from an anonymous account. This was a fake page created on social media. This was a fake page created. So it's kind of hard to get around that. Fake page with no followers or no friends or whatever you call them these days, connections. That should concern people. Charles H. Jefferson II says, I don't like it, especially if they are attacking the character of someone, even if they're a public official. There's a difference between an anonymous post and a fake profile. Both lack courage, in my opinion. Thank you, Charles. And that's what I was explaining to Shawnette just now. Yeah, and she says it. Yeah, Shawnette goes on to say it. Posting anonymously and having a fake profile is the absolute worst. Like Miss Horton, I don't respond to them either, and I usually delete them from my personal page, especially if it's attacking someone. Yeah, I agree. And there is a difference. But even what I found crazy is, let's use a news website. News website will say they're not allowing comments on a story, but then they'll post it on their social media page and allow comments. Huh? Here's it. I don't like government regulation. I think overregulation is a problem in most cases. I do. But where is the line? Where is the line? There has to be a line somewhere. There has to be a line. I believe people should be protected. I'll repeat. I believe whistleblowers, victims, people who expose wrongdoing, right? Witnesses fearing retaliation. Like, I can understand why the BTA folks thought I was writing under a pseudonym on these news websites, because they knew that I would expose wrongdoing. They couldn't have thought I feared retaliation. But they knew I would whistleblow and speak about the stuff that I thought that they were doing that was just wrong. But I said that to them. I didn't defame anyone in the Bermuda Tourism Authority or the organization. There were no false accusations. I didn't cyberbully anyone. I didn't harass anyone. And I didn't share misinformation. Now that you all, we're having this convo, I really do. Sometimes you look back, maybe I should have exposed more, shared more. Folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. So 100% of you don't think government should regulate online anonymity. I like that. I do. Because this tells me that you all do have a problem with people who hide themselves, their names and stuff. You have a problem with people, with defamation and harassment, misinformation. You have a problem with all that. But what you do appreciate is the ability for people to expose wrongdoing. What you do appreciate is people who may fear retaliation being protected. What you do care about is the victims. What you do care about is whistleblower protection. This tells me you all are very conscious people. Suzanne Ingham says, my name is attached to all I write. My motto is say what you mean and mean what you say. Stand by what you say. Indeed, Suzanne. Mark Arthur says, I don't like anonymous posts. You should never throw rocks and hide your hands. If you said it, stand on it. Yeah, I don't get, and again, I'm a different personality. I have a different personality. So I don't want to make others feel less than. I have a different personality. I say it all the time, right? I remember we had a luncheon with some of our partners from the Daily Hour. And I said, I don't say half of the things that I really want to say on this program. And I've told you all this before. Because, people, that culture that they call cancel culture. I'm like, it's not even about that. It's about respecting those who support the show. I don't say half of the things I want to say. And it's not because they defame anyone or it's misinformation. It's none of that. But I do ask myself, how is this helpful? So you all just think I say what's on my mind. No, I think. 5 years ago, it may have been very different, but I think if I don't think it's going to be helpful, then I just, let me leave that alone. Anyone can just rant and share a loud opinion. And, I always tell Teray and some of the others on the team, the goal is not to be loud, it's to be effective, right? You can be heard by many, but listened to by few. And that's the key with this stuff, right? You want to be effective, or you can be a troll. Charles H. Jeffers II says, maybe we should suggest to group moderators, maybe we should suggest to group moderators to change their rules regarding anonymous or fake profile postings, period. Yeah. I think that's worthy. So audience, you're 100%. No one feels the government should regulate online anonymity. None of you feel that way. That's interesting. I tend to agree. I agree because I think without people being able to share anonymously would be dangerous. We would lose our right, or people will lose their right to feel protected, right? And as long as you have things like Crime Stoppers, anonymity should be something that is valued and appreciated throughout our community. My hope is that as we get closer to things like this election, internal election, that people stand on their words. Like, I don't want to see people writing anonymously. I'm going to share my strong opinions publicly, and I hope that inspires others to do so as well. Again, I have nothing personal against either individual. I can communicate with either one of them. I do have concerns about their politics, about their campaigns, about their work since the PLP has been back in government, but that's not personal. To me, I think both individuals do actually mean well, but meaning well and doing well and being the best person to lead the island are not necessarily the same to me. But I can tell you now, what I say on this show is my word. And it's everything I say on this show to you all or with you all or among you all, I would say to them. And I want people to feel confident speaking about them. Now, I know I must say this because there are people who work in the public service, as they call it now, formerly the civil service, and work in government. And for years, they're told they cannot speak out or speak up on politics. I don't like that either. If you are a tax-paying voter, you should be able to speak out. I'm sorry. Folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. So 100% believe should government regulate online anonymity? 100% of you have said no. 100% have said no. And let's go through these last few comments. Question. Charles H. Jeffs II says, as with all laws or regulations, how would it be enforced? What's those things called? Is it IP addresses and stuff like that? You can do things with IP addresses, right? You can, whoever oversees certain pages, you can do geo protection, stuff like that. So with online stuff, it is pretty easy to get done. Those who are responsible for groups and pages would be on them. So they would be the ones who I think would be responsible. Manuela John says it is unfair to the subjects of the post in that they are not able to fairly defend themselves whether the information is correct or not. I concur. I absolutely agree. All right, folks. Let's show some love to Titan Express and Secure. We've got that other president on today. Yeah. Our mate, Richard Scott, a gentleman himself, but we've got Richard Scott, the president of the reigning champions, Somerset Cricket Club, coming on after the break. But let's, in the meantime, show some love to Titan Express and Secure for supporting the daily discussions here on the Daily Hour. The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Titan Express delivers safe, professional, and reliable transportation and tours across the island. From island tours to cultural expressions, they set their standard. and Secure is your go-to for property management, waste management, and residential and commercial services. Visit securebda.com. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is their commitment to you. All righty, folks. I got to give you a days of the year, don't I? Let's see. It's Thursday, July the 2nd. You know what? Before I give you days of the year, it's my sister's birthday today, Leroya. So happy birthday to her. I can't remember how old she goes. I think I got 7 or 8 years on her. So she's in her late 30s. Happy birthday to my sister. And then Bella, the family pet. Well, I can't call her a dog because Bella doesn't know that she's a dog. All right. She don't know she's a dog. But it's Bella's birthday as well. So give Bella a bark from the audience. She'll get it. Trust me, she'll hear it. And if you're driving through her neighborhood, she'll bark back at you. Trust me, she will bark back at you. All right, days of the year. Well, it's World Tutors Day. World Tutors Day. It's Thirsty Thursday. It's World Sports Journalist Day. Wow, I didn't know this. It's Freedom from Fear of Speaking Day. I like that one. But let's go with this one. Let's go with Thirsty Thursday, folks. So I don't know if I told you all, but I signed up for Substack. I think I mentioned it yesterday, last month, Substack. And I didn't know what Substack was. But a journalist that I follow that's in Manchester started putting his articles on there. So I signed up. And then someone else sent me an article on there to read. And so I just said, you know what? Let me write an article here. And I wrote my first article on there about, me traveling. And then yesterday I posted my second article, and it was very personal. And I'd encourage you all to go read it. I don't know how to share it. I guess I can ask our social media team to share it on our socials. But it's basically this month is 7 years since I last had an alcoholic beverage. And people often ask me why I stopped drinking. And I actually got very personal and shared that. So it's Thirsty Thursday. So let us know. I'm sharing that because it's Thirsty Thursday. And I was honest in there about, what I do enjoy. How, my mom's cancer diagnosis led me to take a break. I didn't quit drinking. I took a break, and then it became fun. And then, unlike 20 years ago, there were so many alternatives. Non-alcoholic beers. There were non-alcoholic or de-alcoholized wines and spirits. And then when I want to relax, I would, sometimes have a CBD or a THC drink. But let us know for Thirsty Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday. What is your drink of choice? What's your drink of choice? I'm going to tell you. My go-to right now, folks, is a mojito. Like that's a mojito without the alcohol. A mojito. I feel like I made that up, and then I started seeing it on menus. I was like, man, nothing's original. These folks already thought about it, but mojito is my favorite go-to drink when I am out and about. So we've got Mark Arthur says, 7 years. I am so proud of you, family. Thank you. I appreciate you. You know what? I'm more proud of those who say they're 40 years old and say, I'm 40 years. I'm like, oh, you've never had a drink. I actually think that is quite incredible. In this article that I wrote, I actually wrote, people ask me all the time, well, your friends love to drink. How did that impact your friendships? And I speak about that in there. Like, majority of my friends I've known before we were old enough to drink. And the ones who I've met later on in life have incredible character and just good people, right? So drinking and getting drunk has never been the foundation of any of the relationships that I have or that have survived my non-drinking, I should say. I'll leave it at that without getting too personal. But your favorite drink, Thirsty Thursday. We've got water, says Mark Arthur. We've got mango strawberry lemonade. Okay, Stacey Ann Brown. We've got Shawnette Sumner says a good old-fashioned root beer. Remember the root beers back in the day, and they had all the bubbles up top? We've got Hadeline Stevenson Swan says water and coffee, no milk or sugar. Okay. Congratulations to you, James Burgess says no booze since 1995. Traveling Trotty says H2O. Can I share a story about Traveling Trotty real fast, folks? I hope she's not going to dislike me after this. I'm not going to use the word hate. Hopefully she's not going to dislike me. So Traveling Trotty found herself in Atlanta to watch the game recently between Morocco and Haiti. And, I reside in Atlanta. So you all know one of my hobbies is taking my guns and going to the range and shooting. Like, it's just a hobby. It's a relief. And I've taken Charles H. Jeffers II and his wife. I took Traveling Trotty. Folks, if you don't follow Traveling Trotty, please follow Traveling Trotty on Instagram. I want her to still love me and like me after this. So you just follow her to see how her experience at the range went. I'm not going to tell you. I want to maintain our relationship. Go check it out. Go check out Traveling Trotty. I think it's at Traveling Trotty Instagram. Go check that out. Shawnette Sumner says, Jamel's Substack pieces are really good, easy to read and inspirational. Check it out. Thank you, Shawnette. Honestly, I appreciate that. And I look forward to your articles on Substack. Ginger Beer. We've got Ginger Beer in the house. James Bear. I'm surprised no one else said Ginger Beer. And Traveling Trot is laughing at me. Go look. I encourage you to go look at her post about her going to the range shooting. All right, folks. We're going to take a quick break. We've got a very fun conversation coming up with our good friend Richard Scott, the president of Somerset Cricket Club, the reigning champs. That reign will be coming to an end. I'm trying to be mature. Stop that, Jamal. Neutrality. Come on, no bias, Jamal. It's hard, folks. It's hard. We'll come back after this break and talk to the president of the reigning champions. It's hard to say that. It's hard. Stick with us.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One lucky bucks in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can't be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast, so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It. Freshness at your doorstep. Delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Class of 2026. What's your next chapter? University overseas? Bermuda College? Or your first job? HSBC Bermuda can help you start strong.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Open an HSBC Bermuda bank account and receive a $100 gift card from a local retailer or Amazon.com. And every successful referral receives a $50 reward. Hurry! This limited time offer ends July 31st. Apply online at hsbc.bm/nextchapter, and within 2 business days, an HSBC team member will guide you through the final steps. Terms and conditions apply. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
You want to come get some? Playing around. Playing around. I got the juice. I got it, no doubt.
Ever taken medication and thought, why is this hitting me so hard? Or why isn't this doing anything at all? Here's something you may not know. Your body processes medication the same way it needs to process food, using enzymes. And these enzymes metabolize medication so it can be converted into its useful form or removed from your body. Pharmacogenetics looks at how your DNA influences the way your body metabolizes or breaks down medications. It helps explain why a drug that works well for one person causes side effects in another and barely works at all for someone else. That means the same pill at the same dose can feel very different from one person to the next. It's not about blame, it's not about doing something wrong, it's simply biology. And once you know what works best for you, medication decisions stop being guesswork and start becoming personalized.
In one sentence, boy, I would say it definitely feels like a labor of love for everyone to benefit.
Going through this book, I would say my favorite quote is, "One of the most humbling things in life is knowing that I'm replaceable."
It's an easy read, but after it was done, I was wanting for more. So
I think this book will make a fantastic gift for people that like self-help type of books.
Highly recommend, personally and professionally, because the amount of quotes in here is a beautiful perspective.
People that just want a little extra positive affirmation every day.
3 words I would describe this book. I would say it's inspirational,
intentional,
motivational,
thoughtful,
aspirational.
Let's say the next one is hyphenated, must have.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Big Show. Jamal Hartman here. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda Medical Hubs, Lindo's People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. Folks, do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Folks, without further ado, let's give a warm TDH welcome to our very special guest for the day. Not the car horn. Well, when a 6 is hit, those who don't have the air horns do hit the car horn, but let's give a warm TDH welcome to the president of Somerset Cricket Club, Mr. Richard Scott. Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Good morning, Mr. Hartman. Good morning to the TDH family.
I gotta say, Shawnette Sumner says St. George's Peeps should grab a notebook during the break. Your Somerset fans just I don't know. I mean, they're not the most humble, huh? I'm joking, but always a pleasure to have you. Always a pleasure to have you. I know.
Thank you, sir.
Exciting as this time of year is for so many of us, for you, it's one of the busiest. It's like, I say I've learned a lot from you, Michelle and Neil, over the years. Like when I say I've learned a lot, it's like I appreciate you guys have never told me no. I appreciate that you've never told me no with the amount of times I've asked to meet, the amount of times that, it's just incredible that you have time to even see your families, knowing what goes on. But before we get into all, it is Thirsty Thursday, and I gotta ask you off the record, like, what's your favorite drink? Like, go to, like, is it a no?
No, actually, it's water.
Okay.
I'm a water drinker, and you see, my water is in a very sacred color.
Yeah,
that's it. Everything red.
Yeah,
everything red. So
I'm with the water part, but
yeah. But it's okay. I'm a water drinker. If I drink, Venom in Bermuda, I typically would. One of the things that I absolutely have to have is a ginger beer. Yep. So kudos to the individual who said ginger beer. And when I'm here in the States, one of my favorite drinks is to go to Smoothie Cafe and get a blueberry blast. So but water. I'm getting it older, so water.
I drink a lot of water, right?
Yes.
But you know why I said not my go-to? Because I was thinking about restaurants. People always ask me why I don't drink water at restaurants. And I don't know when it happened, when I started not drinking water, but unless it came in a glass bottle, I wouldn't drink it. I think it's because I grew up in Bermuda.
Yeah. City punch in the restaurants is not nice.
Yeah, and I think that's where it came from. I think New York changed me, but you know what? Let's get into the number. Cup match. Everyone knows It's my favorite holiday. It's my favorite thing on the calendar for Bermuda. But personally, for you, what does it mean to you, both as president of Somerset Cricket Club, but also as just a Bermudian?
Yeah, cup match, man. I would say three words come to mind. It's homecoming, it's heritage, and it's holiday. It's somewhat of a homecoming because it brings families together, brings people together. So many people, like such as myself and my family, reside overseas, so it's an opportunity for many people to come together and share 2 days of fun. Even the lead up, it's some, like I said, it's somewhat of a homecoming. It's an opportunity for us to get together as a community. Um, the heritage part, the emancipation, it's I can't stress enough. Excuse me, I can't stress enough the significance and the importance of the heritage of cup match. You know, so many of us have relegated cup match to just a game that's played, but that the match is actually a celebration of our heritage, you know, being emancipated from slavery. And that is, in my view, we don't know enough about that. I was embarrassed actually to be sitting in the seat of president back in 2006, I believe it was, to find out the history that was behind cup match. So I've been on a crusade to make sure that as much as it depends on me to get that cup match message out there, the message of emancipation. So it's homecoming, it's heritage, and of course it's a holiday. It's time for us to be together for 2 days. I don't think it happens anywhere else in the world. So yeah, for me, cup match is homecoming, heritage, and holiday.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you for that. And audience, if you have any questions or comments for Richard Scott, you can send them through. Last year's match featured some on-field controversy. It sparked plenty of discussion. I shared a very, a strong take on it myself. But looking back, what lessons do you feel were learned, and how have they influenced preparations for this year's cup match?
Um, I think one of the challenges that we have is that we are unaware of standards. We have somewhat lost our way in the area of standards as a community, and I believe that we just happened to see that on the field last year, and it prompted us clubs to get together. Tense moments, because of course, one of the challenges that I believe we as a community are faced with is accountability, and we oftentimes want to say you and point fingers and not say me. You know, so we had to look inwardly and come together and say, okay, what part do we play now? I'm a big fan of telling people you can't legislate morality, but as much as we can put standards in place and then hold people accountable to the standards, at least we can say that we've done our part. So I believe that in discussions with former President Michelle Painter, and then, of course, my mate of so many years, President Neil Painter, we have come up with what we believe is at least it's not a fail-safe solution, but we've at least put something in place so that in the event that there are unfortunate instances that occur during the match, that at least they will be addressed and somewhat arbitrarily, but with a purpose.
Indeed, indeed. Many people see cup match as a 2-day cricket game, but hosting it, it's a year-long undertaking. Speak to people about what goes on behind the scenes to prepare for an event of this scale.
You know, Cup Match has evolved into a huge event. It's definitely Bermuda's premier sporting event, and you know, as the saying goes, "To whom much is given, much is required." So, as the event has evolved, then so has the responsibility and the things attached to putting on such an event, and Man, there are so many things that go on behind the scenes. There is, of course, there's the safety element. We want to make sure that everyone's safe when they come to cop match. So that involves leading many conversations with the police, police, the health officials, planning, how the hospital, St. John's ambulance, environmental health. There are so many players involved, and that's just from a government organizational standpoint. And then when we talk about the organizational piece from the club, the thankless volunteers that we members and volunteers that we have to consult with, and we're so grateful and thankful for their inputs. You know, sometimes it's just an idea. Sometimes you're having a conversation with someone in Hamilton, or on the phone as you're driving, or on the ferry, just having a conversation, and someone is sharing just a bit of information or advice. And it's like little sound bites, because we believe that this is Bermuda's event that both Somerset Cricket Club and St. George's Cricket Club have been afforded the opportunity to host. But we're putting on this event for our community, and I believe that what we're seeing is a conglomerate of ideas that have evolved over years. But there is a lot that goes on into preparing cop match, and I think a lot of times, we see we see the match Thursday and Friday, and I think the average person understands that there's a lot that has going on, but I don't think that people understand the enormity of putting on such an event.
That
But we're
immense.
grateful. We're grateful for the countless hours that people give up their time and talent to make the event successful.
For sure, for sure. Now, we're expecting thousands of supporters to attend Cop Match. What can fans expect to look, forward to this year, both on and off the field, as Somerset prepares to host? Are there any surprises, anything differently, or based on what happened on the field? Is there any gentleman's agreement? Speak to us.
Yeah, excuse me. As far as on the field, I think that this year we will see an exciting match. Both clubs have endeavored to have strong conversations with the potential players who will represent our clubs at the annual classic. One of the things that we have to be cognizant about nowadays is that we are living in a social media era, where pretty much everything that you do is potentially on camera, and particularly for the players, because the match is broadcast live and over the world. So people they're on the world stage. So we have endeavored to make sure that that message of discipline and decorum is given to the players. But outside of that part, I believe that both clubs are, despite the results of the last few years, I believe that what we are about to see is a exciting match this year. St. George's have definitely stepped up their game with bringing the match to us. And we can't sit on our laurels with any bit of complacency. And, Mr. Cop Match, Gennaro Taka, is our coach. And he's made it very, very clear that there's no complacency, that no one's spot is safe, and that everyone has to put in the work. So I think from a match standpoint, we're in for an exciting match. Off the field, not too much new. Of course, one of the challenges that we are faced with this year, once again, is the stringent security. Our community is not what it used to be, and we have to now put things in place, measures in place to ensure, as much as we can, that people are safe when they come to the match. So the security will be quite stringent. The BPS, the government, everyone's pretty much making sure that we are doing our part. So just be patient. The lines may be a little longer. Just the wait time in the lines may be a little longer. But again, guys, this is because our community is not what it used to be, and unfortunately, we have to put things in place to ensure the safety of those attending the match. But I believe that we are in for a power-packed, exciting match this year, and that's what it's all about. It should be an opportunity for us to come in and witness a great match whilst taking in our the opportunities to have conversations with people who are around you, but of course never losing sight of the reason why we're even celebrating.
Yeah, indeed. I'm going to go to the audience. So, audience, if you have any questions or comments, you can send them through. Traveling Charlie's asking, do the players have to attend a workshop on the significance of the day and the history of the occasion?
Ah, well, good question. No, Chica, no, they don't. But that is something that I'm actually going to take a note of right now. One of the things that um, we have implemented is that the former players, they have a former players association, and the former players do try to get together with both teams to give them a history of why they're playing, and the expectations, and the discipline and the decorum. But as far as a seminar or a course, no, they don't. But I take that point.
And how do you, because cup match is one of Bermuda's most cherished sporting and cultural traditions. How do we strike that balance in preserving the history while continuing to enhance the experience for future generations?
Wow.
I want to say this because I took pictures of you 2 cup matches ago showing Sancho's son Maddox. I mean, he was amazed, and you were showing him the wall. And to me, I'm like, that right there is a story. And I wish that I was not so into the event and I could do it, because you weren't doing it so people could see you on video or pictures. But it was incredible that you took the time. The game was going on, folks, to do that. But how do we get more people to do that? Because Somerset's a community.
I think that just how organically that happened, Jamal, I think that that's exactly the posture that we have. Someone, I was having a chat with a staunch Somerset supporter yesterday afternoon on WhatsApp, and she posed a question to me, and I was like, wow, and I'm going to actually say it now. What are you doing? What are you meaning? What are we? What are you individually? What are you doing to make our ancestors proud? We each have a responsibility to not be about cup match being a 2-day party or a weekend of partying. We are a very entertainment driven community, but sometimes we have to step back and take stock of why are we actually celebrating. And just like it was organically, because that was not planned, just like you said, I didn't even know you were taking a picture. Not that that would have made a difference, but I believe that one of the things that we absolutely have a responsibility to do in making our ancestors proud is each and every one of us have to become acutely aware of the reason why we even have this game called cup match. And it's vitally important for us to pass on that information through generations, so that the essence and the importance of why we even celebrate is not lost.
Indeed. Thank you for that. I want to go back to something you said, because you spoke about people helping. Hosting cup match requires tremendous support from volunteers and sponsors in the wider community. How important are those partnerships to making the event a success? And there are people that they may not even be Somerset supporters or St. George supporters, but they love what the holiday represents and they want to help and volunteer. Speak to us about that, and if people wanted to get involved and lend helping hands, how can they do so?
Sure. Again, I believe that our community, again, this is an opportunity for us to embrace our differences. Just like you said, Jamal, we have people who will get involved and offer their help. And they are St. George's supporters. And conversely, when cup matches in St. George's, we have Somerset supporters. A bunch of us will reach out to the president and say, look, when are you guys having a work rally? We're coming down and we're going to help out. one of the things that we also find is that corporate Bermuda gets involved. You know, there are a number of companies who will call us and say, "Hey, we want to have a community day. What do you need?" And so there are a few companies that call us up and they get involved. I think the key, Jamal, is that we have, at least under my term, we have this motto of forward together. And it's recognizing that in order to move forward, we've got to move forward together. And sometimes that does not mean that it's just Somerset members. You know, we have to be inclusive and embrace the intellectual capital that others have, and people have some great ideas. And just because you're not a Somerset member or from Somerset or even a supporter of Somerset, that doesn't mean that the intellectual capital that someone has is not important. So one of the things that we at least try to, and we don't score 100, we don't hit the mark, we don't hit the bullseye all the time, but that's something that we certainly are endeavoring to be forward together.
Indeed. Let me go back to the audience. We've got Sumner says every year there's talk of a 3-day cup match and a 2.5 day of play. What are your thoughts on this?
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna. Well, let me say this to Miss Sumner. It won't happen under Richard Scott's presidency. I can't speak for anyone else.
All right.
The 2 days is enough. And the thing is, we've actually proven that we can get a result in the 2 days. People don't understand the significance of the infrastructure. Another day, of course, we would have to shift and pivot if in the event that actually became a reality. But guys, it's a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah, I could imagine. We've got Traveling Charlie with another one. Do the clubs intend to trademark cup match? I've noticed people using the SCC and SGCC names. Not sure if they have promotion.
Yeah, this is the age-old question. This is the age-old controversy. I just 2 days ago saw, yesterday actually, saw some caps that had Somerset and St. George's, and there's nothing that we could do about that. But there's items also had, Somerset Cricket Club, St. George's Cricket Club, and we were like, oh gosh, here we go again. Yes, we have the responsibility of getting the message out there that this is our event. We're talking about history attached to it, so people are used to being able to just go out and produce their own t-shirts and caps and towels and novelty items and sticking Somerset on there and or sticking St. George's on there. But yes, there are moves afoot. And I know many people are probably saying, you all say this every year. And again, guys, we have these organizations are volunteer. We are volunteer organizations where lots of hours have to go into something like this. I mean, I could tell you right now that we just undertook a project to update our constitution and charity status, and one of our committee members was in charge of that, and it took him months to do, and he's a lawyer, so volunteering his time. So can you imagine the things that are required for the community clubs to move toward trademarks and things like that? But it's definitely something that continues to be on the table.
All righty. We got Charles asked this question yesterday as well to Neil. He said, I asked this question of President Pinto, but when are we going to have a cup match Hall of Fame to preserve the history with a joint induction ceremony / awards banquet?
Hey, awesome comment from my mate, who we are this time of the year. Mr. Jefferson and I are. We try our level best to be cordial, but what an excellent suggestion. We've excuse me, we've talked about this at length. One of the things that I think President Painter alluded to it last yesterday, that we are endeavoring to make this a gala event. The issue is, well, not just the issue, but one of the things that we're trying to come up with is the appropriate time frame, because galas and bowls in Bermuda in July, or even August, could be somewhat of a nightmare for ladies and their makeup. So we're trying to figure out the timing, but certainly the idea of a gala, a ball to recognize the accomplishments of the current cup match, and then of course the opportunity to recognize the contributions of former players and administrators through a banquet would be great. But the Hall of Fame is definitely something that we continue to talk about, because what an awesome thing that will be for not only Bermuda, but our tourists to be able to come and get a even greater understanding, not of just the game, but again, emancipation as to why and how this game even came about.
Indeed. And for those who are tuned in on the radio on Hot 107.5, we are talking to the president of Somerset Cricket Club, Richard Scott. You mentioned the lines earlier, and James Burgess, and I haven't asked you this question, but he's asking, can you pay online to save lines? Like, is the
Yes.
online available again this year, and through who?
Yes. Yep. Definitely will be able to pay online. I believe our target date will be on the 15th of July. We've been talking to our vendor to make sure that everything is straight with that. So from July 15th, folks will be able to go online, and we'll put that on our social media pages and get that into the various forms of media to let everyone know that, you can now begin to buy tickets for the event.
Alrighty. We have a Somerset supporter asking, has the victory parade been organized?
The victory parade route says the same. We have a traditional route that we will take, and of course, all of that has to go into the planning with the police. So that has been discussed already. That is our intention, of course. But we know that that's St. George's intention as well. So we don't take anything for granted. That there will be a victory parade, and again, guys, here's one of the things that came about when I came back to the seat in 22. It's amazing because we had a drawn match in 23 in St. George's, and people were calling me up and saying, "Hey, when is the march?" And I was like, "We didn't win." Yeah, we didn't win, but we retained the cup, and I was like, "Okay, victory march, victory march,
Yeah.
victory march, victory march." Put them together, victory march. But again, I think it's indicative of how, and I'll probably get in trouble for this. It's indicative of how soft our community has become. Everyone's a winner. So many of us were talking about the other, back in the day of sports day, there were first, second, third, everybody else go home and try next year. Go home, cry to your mom and daddy, and I can't fourth, I can't fit about, but now everyone gets a ribbon. It's red, blue, red, green, white, whatever,
Right.
but our mentality has to be, we're going out for out and out victory, and and I'm sure that's St. George's mentality. But I can tell you that the intent is that we will lift that trophy not from a retention place on Friday, July 31st, but it will be from a place of victory.
Indeed. You mentioned visitors earlier, as it related to the Hall of Fame. If you could describe the spirit of cup match in just a few words to someone visiting Bermuda for the first time, what would you say to them?
That cup match represents the spirit of Bermuda, bringing people together through a game to promote unity and show the Bermudian culture.
Well said. I think that is well said. to the Bermudian people, to Somerset fans, St. George's fans, what would you say to them that you would like them to take away from this year's cup match experience?
Jamal, I did a post on Facebook yesterday about standards, and I think that our takeaway from for me, I would love personally for us to walk away, leave the grounds on Friday, July 31st, and everyone walking to their car, their houses, their bike, walking and reflecting and saying, you know what, we have reestablished this standard. That will be my takeaway. That we've reestablished the standard that's attached to cup match. We've reestablished the standard that is attached to emancipation. That we know, we understand, and we've executed the standard that has been the expectation. That cup match is the creme de la creme of players, and that means that we as spectators should be creme de la creme as well. So people walking away that a standard has been reestablished.
Indeed. Cup match selection night, the 25th of July. One of my favorite nights before the game. And it's when we go live up to the field and we have the fellas in the studio giving some analysis. It's a fun night, but it's a long night, right? Just for people, real quickly, I should have asked this earlier. What goes into selecting the team? Like, we asked Neil yesterday. He said, the captain, the coach, and some selectors, the president isn't involved. Just tell them what goes into selecting the players that will represent.
So the selection of the team, of course, we have a selection committee who is headed up by our chairman of selectors, who is also our chairman of cricket, the coach, the captain, and then it's two other individuals the chairman of cricket, the chairman of selectors would have on his team. So it's 5 selectors, and they are looking at not just the final trial on the 25th, but they are looking at stats. They're looking at individual performances throughout the season. So they're looking at players' form, and so it's a myriad of things that go into team selection. So that process can be short or it could be lengthy. It all depends on if there's going to be any changes, any expected changes to the team. So that process last year was a little longer than we have in recent years, but there have been times back in the day when that team didn't come out to after midnight. So there's 5 individuals have been tasked with putting together a championship team.
Yeah, I want to say this before you head out. During Cup Match Selection Night last year, so Cup Match Selection Night, folks, it's the Saturday before Cup Match. We go live, BCG TV, and we had some conversations that night, and something stood out with Somerset Cricket Club. A player who had been a cult the previous year, everyone expected to be in the team, and he did not make the team this year, and it was, said by the coach at the time, it was due to everyone, there's some standards here, and if people don't meet the standards, they won't play. Speak to how important, not necessarily the individual, but you've mentioned standards quite a few times. I read your post yesterday, and I don't even get to see posts that much on Facebook, but I liked it because I couldn't disagree with anything you said. But speak to people about how important maintaining your standards is, not just to win a game, but to say, this is who we are and this is what we represent.
Yeah, it was a very controversial decision, and that was one of the reasons why it took so long to come up with the final team selection, because we were debating the significance of the individual's behavior on that day. And again, Jamal, one of the things that we tend to do is overlook standards. Standards are, I'm a like I said, none of us score 100. None of us hit the bullseye every single day, but we should all be endeavoring to attain the standard that has been put in place. And when those standards are violated, and we absolutely have to take stances and take a stand take a stand with the standard. So it's vitally, I believe, as a community, in a lot of ways we've lost our way, we've compromised. I was listening to the discussion prior to getting on live, but I was listening to the discussion about anonymous posts. And it's interesting because I see things I try to see things holistically as opposed to just one from one dimension. And one of the things that I recognize is that some people are called to the positions, to be out front, and there's an expectation that you never hide when you are putting yourself out front. And to whom much is given, much is required. If you as a player are putting yourself forward to be on Bermuda stage, now the world stage, for the premier event, then you invariably are saying that I am prepared to uphold the standard and the expectation. And when that standard is violated, then the organization has every right to hold you accountable.
Indeed. President Scott, thank you for this conversation.
Sure. Before we go, I just want to, of course, shout out to our lead sponsor, HSBC, who provide lead sponsorship for us to absolutely put this event on. It their sponsorship helps out tremendously. Great team that we're working with HSBC. And of course, Fairmont Hamilton are our cup match sponsors. They sponsor both clubs every year as well. So, and I know yesterday the question was posed to Neil: how do we balance the whole evolution of the corporate world whilst maintaining the heritage? And it's a delicate balance, man. It's a delicate balance, because the reality is that we do need the corporate Bermuda support. And not all the time the corporate Bermuda support is in dollars. Sometimes it's their intellectual property and capital that they offer us. So we're certainly grateful for the corporate support, but at the same time, we are doing our level best to make sure that Cup Match is not outpriced. It doesn't cause stress and strain financially for people. But just know, Bermuda public, that both Somerset Cricket Club and St. George's Cricket Clubs are doing our level best to marry this whole idea of embracing and engaging our corporate community with our, of course, just layman's local community. And I believe that as long as we keep the idea of we're doing this, we're moving forward together, I believe that it will benefit all of us.
I agree. I like the suggestion by Charles to maybe the corporations attend a session on the history as well, so that it helps with it not getting lost. I like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
But again, we have a responsibility as the clubs to get that message to them, and I believe that we're getting better at it. One thing that I also want to mention before we jump off is that on Wednesday, July 22nd at 7:30 p.m. at Somerset, we're going to be having the Emancipation Story by Rashida Godwin, of Sankofa, Bermuda. So Bermuda, come on out. Whether you're a Somerset supporter, a St. George's supporter, this is one of the things that we as a club have a responsibility to get that message out there. So again, Wednesday, July 22nd at 7:30 p.m. Please come on out and hear another, get another feather in our pockets when it comes to the Emancipation Story.
I know I will do my best to be present. Hold me to it, audience. I will do my best to be present because I have missed it. I think you started last year, or you started
in 24. Yeah,
24. Yeah, 2 years ago. So, yeah, I'm a big supporter. Rashida's is a supporter of us, but again, for those who keep saying let the holiday not lose what it's all about.
Absolutely.
We need to attend it like it's the game. Charles is asking, is it a cost for it?
No, free of charge, absolutely no charge. We want that our upstairs auditorium to be full to capacity. Please come on out, spread the word, because guys, it's so vitally important for us to get a better understanding. I believe that this emancipation story isn't told enough. People plan, they get the spots together, put the plots, people order carpet and this and that, and we don't have as enough enthusiasm for the emancipation story as we do for there's frivolous things. There's things that you'll throw that carpet away, you'll throw your pallets away, but the emancipation story is so much more than cup match. We as a people are in our positions on our jobs as a result of emancipation, and that story needs to be pressed and pushed more and more.
July 22nd, what time?
7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m. Will there be food and refreshments?
Yes.
There will be food and I asked that not from me, but I know our people, right? I
Yes.
know Bermudians be like, are they feeding us? But no, thank you so much for sharing that, Richard. Thank you for your time always, and I look forward to attending this event. Hopefully, some of the audience will be there with me. I might meet
Yes.
them, folks. Talk soon.
I sure hope that my status has changed after today. I sure hope my status has changed from the other president. The other president, I was like, oh my dear. Okay. The other president. Okay. And choices in life. I wrote it down. His choices in life. Okay.
Yes, I'm
All
gonna
right.
be back. Let me take that back at the event.
But thank you so much for the time.
No
We're always appreciative of being on the TDH.
Talk soon. Have a great one.
You too.
All right, Richard Scott, president of Somerset Cricket Club, folks. Always a pleasure to have him. My president says, Jewel Eve, yes, you're president indeed. Folks, don't go anywhere because we've got cup match trivia coming up. And Richard may have gave you the answer to this, or he may not have given you the answer to this. But only way to find out is if you stick with us. Be back after the break.
Children love to play and have fun. And they love gifts even more, especially ones that they can enjoy and learn from. With Bermuda Trivia Coloring Books, kids can explore the island while they color, learn, and create. The perfect activity for fun and learning together. Available now.
Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on your favorite social media platforms to learn more.
Yeah, I don't got this. I'm gonna be fast at delivery and run.
Oh, really? Don't pay me enough for that,
Oh, no, sugar! Okay, who's the faster? Who's the faster than me? Talk to me. No more stress. Just sit back.
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Bermuda, there's nothing like a home-cooked meal, especially when you can feed the whole family without stretching your wallet. With the affordable Bermuda basket, you'll find savings on everyday staples like rice, chicken, corn, and more. Everything you need to make a good meal for less. Shop the Bermuda basket at Lindo's, Marketplace, the Garden Market, and the English Market. Visit costofliving.gov.bm to see the full list of goods and start planning your meals. This is a message from the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Life moves fast, and so can the unexpected. When you insure your home, you need to know that your insurance company has your back. At Friesenbrook, let one of our friendly and professional agents give you that peace of mind. Because when you are covered, you are confident. Call us at 296-3600 or visit friesenbrook.bm to learn more.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One lucky box in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
Alrighty, welcome back, folks. Thanks again to Somerset Cricket Club President Richard Scott for stopping by this morning. It is cut match season. Cut match fever is, well, you feeling it. You feeling it. It's cut match time in Bermuda. It's July, folks. I want to give a big shout out to our partners, HSBC Bermuda, BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lenders, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring we can pump through the radio areas with these most important community conversations, folks. If you haven't already and you are streaming with us online, give us a like, love, follow, share the link with your friends, family, and colleagues. It is time for the Daily Play brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. It's Cut Match Trivia today, and here's the question. Very easy. Here we go. Cut Match was not recognized as a two-day holiday until what year? It was not 1943, but you are close, Mark Arthur. It was not 1902. Karen Edward Simmons, wrong question. But Traveling Trotty, you have hit the nail on the head. 1947. 1947. Close, Julie, and you are correct, Shawnette, Sumner Island girl. It was before your time. Yeah, 1947. Cut Match was not recognized, keyword recognized, as a two-day holiday until 1947. All right. That question is in Bermuda Trivia's Cut Match Edition, which is available at many stores. Go check the website, bermudatrivia.com. You can find out where to get it. People's Pharmacy, Bermuda Bookstore, Flying Colors, Brown & Co. Phoenix Stores, Caesar's Pharmacy, and Robertson's. So you can check it. The Cut Match Edition of Cut Match Trivia. It's a fun game. It's a lot to learn. It's fun. It's fun. Trust me, if you want to know about Bermuda's history, if you want to learn about the game, go get Bermuda Trivia Cut Match Edition. All right, let's wrap it up. Folks, as far as anonymity, I have an issue with people using pseudonyms, fake names. I do. But I don't have a problem with people remaining anonymous. Most people who remain anonymous, in my opinion, the people I know who have done it to protect themselves. Maybe I was too stupid or too silly not to be anonymous and share stuff while I was in the Bermuda Tourism Authority. Maybe I should have done so. But no, Jamal, you want to open your big mouth and be public about everything and see how it works out. My point is, I don't think that the issue is anonymity. The issue is what people do when they can't be identified. Defamation, false accusations, cyberbullying, harassment, and the spreading of misinformation. That's the problem. Those are the issues. Do we regulate it? And if we regulate it, do we enforce it? How do we enforce it? As far as the conversation with Richard Scott, I've enjoyed the relationships with both St. George's Cricket Club and Somerset Cricket Club. They have a great responsibility. And I think both presidents understand that. I know that Cup Match brings us together for a cricket game and we drink and we have fun. But I think we're in a time now where we understand the importance of ensuring that people understand why we're here and the responsibility that we all have in sharing the information that we've learned and passing that on. It's my hope that we continue to get better at celebrating not just in our colors, but our history, our cultural traditions, our heritage, and the people who came before us. All right, let me give you some daily inspiration. This is from my book, The Journey Within. I understand the purpose of not giving up, but sometimes we have to face reality and move on. Only then may we realize something much greater is out there. It's not necessarily quitting, folks. Sometimes we have to know when to move on to the next thing. All right, gotta let you all go, but let me say it now and let me say it loud. We will be back next Tuesday. There will be no show tomorrow, Friday, the 3rd, and no show Monday, the 6th. We'll be back live with you on July 7th, Tuesday, July 7th. All right. So I look forward to seeing all of you. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical Oils, Linda, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airways with these most important community conversations. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you live on Tuesday, July 7th. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great weekend. We are out. Peace.